Not everyone will hear this, but maybe you were never meant to blend in. Maybe you've felt it your whole life, that strange sense that something about you is different, unseen, yet known by heaven. This message isn't for the curious, it's for the called. You didn't stumble here, you were led. Just like the prophets who wandered the desert before they ever stepped into their purpose. You've been walking through battles you couldn't explain, and now something in your spirit is waking up. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. When that truth hits your soul, it doesn't shout, it doesn't need to. It lands like a whisper that shakes the ground inside you. One day, you open your eyes, and nothing looks the same. You feel pulled away from things that once felt comfortable. People who once made sense now seem distant. The things you used to tolerate feel heavy. The Most High is calling you higher. You start recognizing patterns, moments of stillness that weren't just loneliness but protection, isolation that wasn't punishment but preparation. He made my mouth like a sharpened sword. In the shadow of his hand, he hid me. Isaiah 49:2. Suddenly the silence starts to speak. Ideas come not from ambition but inspiration. Steps align without force. You begin to sense more about people, about rooms, about unseen things that once escaped your attention. This isn't paranoia, it's prophecy. My sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me. John 10:27. You've been hearing that voice. Maybe not in thunder, but in the quiet confirmations. A sentence, a dream, a number, a name, and still something inside you rises. You can't go back to small anymore. You can't go back to blending in. Your authority isn't loud, but it's unmistakable. It's not about being better, it's about being sent. When God reveals that your steps are ordered, you stop asking for permission to walk. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37:23. And chosen one, your steps have already begun. So I'll ask you this. If your life was a parable, what truth is God about to reveal through you? You're not where you used to be. Somehow, the storms that once crushed you now leave you standing. Still, certain, strangely calm. That isn't numbness. That's spiritual authority rising from within. Something's changing. And it's not the world, it's you. Your spirit has started to mature into the role heaven always intended. And those around you, some are drawn closer, others recoil. Not because of anything you said, but because your light speaks louder than words ever could. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. That's what they feel, even if they don't know why. You start noticing the shift when things that used to stir your emotions fall flat. The insults, the rejection, the confusion, they no longer have the same grip. That's not detachment. That's proof that God has hardened you for holy work, that your calling is activating. There's a moment, subtle, quiet, when you realize you are no longer lost. You don't have every detail, but the assignment becomes unmistakable. You were not sent here to blend in. You were sent to disturb the darkness, to awaken the weary, to carry words that were never yours to begin with. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you. John 15:16. And with that realization comes resistance. It gets heavier. Strange warfare begins. But don't panic. That's just confirmation that your name is known in the realm you cannot see. As spiritual pressure increases, so does divine alignment. Messages begin to find you, numbers repeat, dreams echo louder. Patterns you can't explain start weaving together. This isn't random, it's revelation. You're not imagining it. Heaven is moving around you, through you, and within it all one thing grows stronger: your sense of responsibility. Not for appearances, not for perfection, but for truth. You feel it. A deep, holy burden to carry light into places that forgot it existed. You can't unfeel it now. So the question is, if your spirit has been stirred, what exactly is it being stirred for? Let the light of faith remind you, you are chosen, deeply loved by God, and never alone. Leave a comment to share how God has touched your life. There comes a moment in your walk where you begin to feel the holy weight of something far beyond your own desires. It's not pressure from people, it's pressure from heaven, a divine stirring in your soul that refuses to be silenced. You feel responsible for truth, for clarity, for righteousness. Not because anyone crowned you, but because you were born with a fire that won't let you rest while the world remains asleep. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works. Ephesians 2:10. This isn't about perfection, it's about purpose, and purpose is costly. You begin to sense it in the way others respond to your presence. Strangers feel safe with you. Broken people open up without knowing why. There's something about your energy, your stillness, your insight, your listening that makes others feel seen. You weren't taught this. You were born for it. And as you rise, so does the responsibility. You can no longer say what others say or act how others act. You feel watched, not by the world, but by heaven. Every step matters. Every word carries weight. You feel the call to live upright, not out of fear, but out of reverence. To whom much is given, much will be required. Luke 12:48. With this awakening comes fire. Trials increase. The spiritual attacks get more precise. But so does your discernment. You start to see through smiles. You recognize hidden motives. You sense when something is off before anyone says a word. That's not paranoia. It's protection. That's what happens when heaven trains someone for influence in unseen places. And then the stripping begins. The old habits feel foreign. The people you used to walk with start to fade. You outgrow mindsets that no longer serve the mission. What once brought you comfort now feels like clutter. You start walking lighter, not because the burden is gone, but because your spirit has matured to carry it. This transformation isn't loud, but it's holy. You begin to feel what God feels. A burden for those who are blind, for the hurting, for the ones who are wandering. Your heart breaks for things that never used to matter. And without even trying, your presence convicts, clarifies, and heals. You don't always speak, but something in you speaks for you. That's what it means to carry authority not from man, but from the Most High. This is not ordinary. This is the quiet power of someone marked by God. So the question is, what has heaven placed on you that no one else around you seems to carry? There are certain assignments too heavy for the ordinary soul to carry, and yet here you are, chosen, set apart, entrusted with a mission only few would recognize, let alone survive. You were never meant to blend in. The pull you feel in your spirit, that responsibility that won't let you rest, is not a burden. It's a signal that heaven has activated your calling. You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession. 1 Peter 2:9. When God elevates a chosen one, hiding is no longer an option. For a season he kept you covered, not to punish you, but to protect what was still being formed. But now the shift is undeniable. People begin to notice something about you before you even speak. Their reactions change, some drawn in by the light, others repelled by it. You're not doing anything different, but your spirit is louder. Your light can't be hidden. Your energy walks into the room before you do. The atmosphere shifts, and those sensitive enough can feel it. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 61. Strangers smile, others stare, some avoid you altogether. What they're sensing isn't just your presence, it's the weight of your divine rank. Your aura begins to confront the unseen. Darkness gets nervous. Truth begins to rise in conversations that weren't meant to go deep. Your presence starts to feel like a mirror, and not everyone can face their reflection. This is the mark of one no longer hidden. People begin coming to you with questions, wounds, confessions. You don't advertise wisdom, but it flows from you. They trust your silence. They lean into your words. You start to see that your voice was never meant to be ordinary. You were born to lead, not from ego, but from alignment. And then come the signs. The dreams that feel like warnings, the numbers that repeat with perfect timing, the sudden inner knowing you can't explain. This is not coincidence, it's divine communication. Heaven is now speaking to you with clarity, not in secret, but in ways you're meant to carry into the world. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. This is the confirmation. You're not imagining the shift. You're stepping into visibility. And when heaven turns the volume up on your spirit, both realms take notice. So let me ask you, when the world begins to notice what heaven already confirmed, will you be ready to carry the message out loud? There are missions too heavy for the average soul, and still the Most High chose you. You weren't designed to follow trends or echo the world's opinions. You were called to lead, awaken, and elevate. If something deep inside you whispers, "This is you," then receive it. Because the responsibility you feel isn't random, it's spiritual recognition. As your light grows, so does your visibility, and not everyone can handle it. People who once praised you may now avoid eye contact. Friends who once cheered for you begin to fall silent. But don't be confused. When God reveals your purpose, He also reveals who was never meant to walk beside it. For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Luke 8:17. As heaven lifts the veil, so does the opposition. But it's not personal, it's positional. Your rising disturbs what was comfortable in the dark, but with this shaking comes alignment. Doors once locked open effortlessly, conversations that once drained now empower. Opportunities appear with precision, not because you chase them, but because heaven ordained them. Even when you feel unsure, the spiritual realm knows you are ready. You'll notice the atmosphere change when you enter a room. People shift, energy settles, the chaos softens, not because you said anything, but because your presence carries something weightier now. You weren't just born to influence people, you were created to shift realms. You are the salt of the earth, the light of the world. Matthew 5:13-14. That's why you no longer shrink. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You walk with a confidence that doesn't boast. It bears witness. This isn't pride. It's alignment with who you've always been, beneath the noise. And then something deeper stirs. Your intuition sharpens. Your inner voice becomes impossible to ignore. What used to feel like a whisper now speaks with fire. You sense things others miss. You discern spirits before words are spoken. You walk into a space and know what's happening in the unseen. That's not paranoia. It's prophetic sensitivity. It's the spirit awakening you to operate in a realm most avoid. You begin to see life as more than surface. It's spiritual structure. Your guidance no longer comes from logic alone, but from revelation. You begin to move, not because you understand everything, but because you obey the one who sees everything. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. Chosen one, if the volume of your spirit has been turned up, it's not just awareness, it's activation. The question is, what are you now hearing that the world is still ignoring? There's a point in your journey where your inner knowing sharpens, not because you studied more, but because the spirit within you has grown louder. You begin to recognize patterns others miss. A moment feels off, a phrase lands wrong, a room shifts, and you know, not because you're paranoid, but because your perception has been sanctified. But the advocate, the Holy Spirit, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have said to you. John 14:26. Your dreams begin to speak. Your thoughts carry weight. A license plate, a song lyric, a whisper in the stillness, all begin aligning with something deeper. This is heaven's language unfolding around you. Suddenly, you're not just living, you're listening. And the voice you hear is not always external. It rises within. There's a boldness forming in your voice. Gossip no longer tastes the same. Cursing stings your spirit. Lies feel foreign on your tongue. You begin to speak differently. Life, clarity, truth, and others feel it too. Your words don't just fill silence, they shift the room. This isn't charisma, it's consecration. And then come the downloads, insights that land in your spirit like thunder, even when you're doing ordinary things, washing dishes, driving, praying, and suddenly you know something you never read, something no one told you. That's not coincidence, it's divine instruction. The Most High is revealing what school never could because your calling requires it. Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. You're not becoming weird, you're becoming wise. You're not unstable, you're unshaken. And with every sign, every echo, every whisper of confirmation, your spirit steadies. This is what it looks like when heaven trains a chosen one. So the question is, what has God been whispering that you haven't dared to say out loud yet? This is the walk of the deeply awakened, where small talk loses its flavor and only truth satisfies. You begin to crave what lasts, what reveals, what heals. Surface words wear you out. Your spirit thirsts for wisdom. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, Psalm 37:30. You sense emotion behind smiles, feel energy before it's spoken. It's not imagination, it's insight. God sharpens the awareness of His chosen. Even children and animals respond to your presence, sensing peace. Butterflies, birds, sun rays, all echo the same silent message from heaven. I see you. These moments aren't random. They are divine recognition. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Heaven is whispering, I see you. And when you begin receiving dreams that feel too vivid to ignore, too precise to dismiss, that's not your mind wandering. That's your spirit listening. For God does speak, now one way, now another, though no one perceives it, in a dream, in a vision of the night. Job 33:14-15. These aren't ordinary dreams. They deliver warnings, answers, glimpses of what's coming. Sometimes you wake knowing what to do. Other times your soul stirs with truth your mind hasn't yet caught up with. God chooses to speak this way to those who can carry the weight of revelation. And then come the visions. Not always open to the eye, but felt with clarity. A flash, a moment, a picture alive in your mind that refuses to fade. It's not your imagination. It's divine sight. God is showing you what your physical eyes can't see because your calling requires more than human logic. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Matthew 5:8. Write it down. Pray over it. These impressions carry assignments. You've been entrusted with spiritual intelligence, and with that comes divine protection. You begin to realize how much didn't happen, how harm was delayed, how you were steered out of the wrong place at just the right time. You feel covered, even in chaos. The attacks that should have broken you somehow missed. You sense angels near, and when nothing makes sense, peace still holds you. That's not coincidence. That's the covering of the Most High. This is divine evidence that God's favor is not just resting on you, it's surrounding you. Your faith journey matters. Like, subscribe, and stay connected with the light of faith to grow stronger in Christ every day. This is not just favor, it's surrounding presence. You begin to feel it tangibly. In prayer, you sense someone with you. In danger, you feel held. A breeze touches your shoulder. A whisper in silence says, I am here. This is angelic confirmation. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91:11. You no longer desire what once pulled you. The need for validation fades. The hunger for status dies. What stirs now is righteousness. Your soul aches for truth. You crave obedience not to impress, but to align. The more you grow, the more the world's noise dulls. You don't force this shift. It happens as you rise. This is spiritual maturity, the quiet evidence that you are walking in step with a higher calling, chosen and strengthened to carry what few can. This is what spiritual maturity looks like. You begin to rise above what once pulled you down. You stop reacting to every insult, every slight, every distraction. You move quietly, pray intentionally, and trust God's hand, even when justice seems delayed. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself or chase validation. You let your fruit speak. You let God speak for you. This isn't passivity, it's divine restraint. Your energy becomes sacred. Your peace becomes protected ground. You stop arguing with those who cannot see your vision. You stop handing your joy to chaos. You no longer engage in battles that don't align with your calling. This is strength refined by fire. You don't just shine, you illuminate. You don't just speak truth, you carry it. And because of this, God trusts you with more. more revelation, more responsibility, more resistance. But even in the storm, your faith stands. Even in pressure, your purpose holds, because your power flows not from people, but from the Most High. If your spirit bears witness to this truth, type "I receive it" in the comments and walk boldly into your divine power.